Today, I am going to talk to you about three things, what we're going to do today. Then I'm going to ask for your permission to present the Warrior course, which is in a new iteration. And now I'm very clear as to exactly what this program does. Whereas before I was like, I know it does a lot of stuff, but I don't know exactly what it does. But now I really do know exactly how to explain what it does in words. Then we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk to you about, going to tell you a story, which a lot of you have heard, but it always helps to hear it again, because every time you hear it, you're at a different level, and maybe you can hear something different, something else, or something that will apply to you in the moment. Then I'm going to talk to you about anchors and what keeps us stuck. And then we're going to pick one thing, right? And we're going to do a release, a sound bath for a release of that. All right, so the story is called The Pearl Necklace. And although I just love this story, and it's a wonderful story to keep reminding myself of, especially when I'm choosing the thoughts that don't align with being happy and joyful and prosperous. And there was this girl, she's a tiny little girl, she was 5 or 6, and she went to the store with her mother. And in this store, she saw the most magnificent pearl necklace she had ever laid eyes on. So she begged her mother to buy it for her. And the mother said, listen, it's $3. You have $1 saved at home. Every Sunday when we go to your grandmother's house, she gives you a brand new dollar bill. And if you help me throughout this week at home with some chores, you'll become my assistant for the week, and I will pay you another $1. Within a week, you'll have your $3, and you can come and purchase your own necklace. So the girl was in heaven. She went home, helped her mother, got to her grandmother's house, was thrilled to get her dollar bill, and by the next week, she was wearing her beautiful pearl necklace. She went to school with it. She slept with it. She showered with it. She did not want to part with this necklace because she felt like the most gorgeous princess on the planet. And then one night, the father came in to put her to sleep, to read her a story and put her to sleep, and he asked her, do you trust me? Of course I do, Father. Hand me your pearl necklace. The little girl went into a panic. What do you mean, Father, my pearl necklace? And she wanted to trade her best dress, her best doll. She was looking for everything she could barter or exchange, to give in exchange for her pearl necklace. Anything that would save her beloved pearl necklace. The father said, no, don't worry about it. Read her the story, put her to sleep. This went on for about 10 days. He would come in, do you trust me? Of course I trust you, Father. Give me your pearl necklace. And she just could not part with it. Until on the 10th day, the father walks in to find the little girl cross-legged on her bed, upper lip trembling. Says, Father, I trust you, and hands over the pearl necklace. The father beams the biggest smile ever, takes the necklace and pulls a box from the inside of his coat pocket. He handed it to her, and out of this box came a real pearl necklace. And he told her, I was just waiting for you to let go of the garbage. Take a big, deep breath on that one. Let it all go. Where are you not receiving the the gifts from your orbit, right, Natasha? We've been talking about our orbit and how we have all our gifts in our orbit because we're holding on to the garbage bags. And so if you're holding on to garbage bags that are really heavy, then how can you receive anything with your hands closed? The way to receive is hands open, arms open. So today's theme is about precisely that. It's great, Hannah, you tell me. It's great, but how do I do this? How do I let it go? Well, you know, for someone who likes complicated and complex things, I have discovered that there's so much more depth in simplicity sometimes. And when I just think it's easier than I think, things just flow because I make it so hard in my head. So when I start letting go of the idea that life is hard, when I start letting go of the idea that living in the flow is hard, that making money is hard, or receiving money is hard because we don't make it, right? The mint makes it. Then if I hold on to those thoughts, life becomes what we think, because thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. And the product of our thoughts are also things that manifest into this dimension depending on how much we focus on them. That's why people say, stop thinking all these negative things. You're attracting them to yourself. So how do we get out of it? Well, we could try like the ways of meditating. Stop thinking, breathe like this, focus on the air on the tip of your nose, or do this. Or we can just say, in this moment, I'd like you to take a deep breath. I'd like you to release with an ah. Then I'd like to put your attention, to have you put your attention on your brain, on your physical brain, and see how tight it is, how like compressed it is. And I'd like for you to just make a choice to let that tension go. And now I would like for you to just be here now. And be here now. And now. And now. And now. Take a deep breath. And see if you notice anything different. So the things that anchor us are varied. They are the choices of the thoughts we choose to keep that create emotions in our bodies that get trapped within our physical bodies and our energetic bodies. That we don't know that they're there. And they are what I call the monkey on your back, which I can never see my monkey on my back because it's right in my blind spot. But I can tell you where your monkey is and go, oh, here's your monkey. Let's get rid of that. These things are things like resentments. They are things, horrible things that happen to us in our life that we keep going back to thinking, and every time we think them, we relive them. So we are never leaving the past in that way. We're going to do a quick little exercise that is going to prove to you how your body releases the hormones. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it does. We're going to do it, and then we're going to talk about it. So I'd like for you to get in a comfortable position. If you're sitting down, put your feet flat on the floor. Put your palms facing up on your thighs. I'd like for you to just close your eyes. And I'd like for you to imagine a lemon. Now, some people will see it, some people will just sense it, some people will feel it. It depends on how every person processes information. So whatever comes to you, that's the right way. Don't go thinking that you're making a mistake. There's no wrong way of doing this. So picture a lemon. Now I'd like to have you see a cutting board. And then I'd like for you to notice that knife that's sitting right next to it. And I'd like for you to set down this lemon on top of this cutting board and pick up the knife. Before you cut it, before you slice it, I want you to say blue ice. That actually anesthetizes this lemon so that it doesn't feel so much when you're going to slice him in half. So you're going to say blue ice, and then you're going to slice this lemon. And as you slice it, it is so juicy and luscious. You see the drops of this amazing juice dripping on the side. It's absolutely amazingly juicy, and you're going to pick up 1/2 of this lemon, and you're going to bring it up to your mouth, and you're going to squirt some of that juice directly into your mouth. You're going to thank that lemon. You're going to swallow that juice. Say thank you to this lemon for helping us to understand how, when we live in the past, our bodies are creating the same feel-bad hormones of the trauma that we experienced. I'd like to know if you were able to feel the saliva in your mouth accumulating, right? I should do. I was like, ooh, tart lemon. Okay. And when we do that to our bodies, we keep our adrenal glands and our immune system on high alert. And with time, if we don't break out of that, we get things like cancer, and we get things like illnesses that are just a physical representation of your emotional state from the past. Okay? Because, and I actually have lemon, and it just magnified. So whatever you're experiencing today is a consequence or the product of your thoughts from the past. And that's why you should focus even today may not look the way you want it to look, but if you hold the vision steadfast on what you do want to have and what you do desire, then eventually, and sooner than later, the more you stay tuned into that vibration. Because a lot of people say you have to think about it really hard and really hard. No, you have to make your request to the universe, and then you've got to let it go. It's like you're planting the seeds, right? The way we work in this system that I've developed is we use every tool at our disposal. We use the lunar energy, right? The moon cycles. And if you don't believe that things respond in this planet to the moon energy, go on a website that's called farmersalmanac.com or .org. I think it's just Google Farmer's Almanac. And it will tell you what days are good for planting. It'll tell you what days are good for growing your hair. My hair used to grow to my shoulders after I gave birth to Noel. I had low thyroid, my thyroid got destroyed, and I couldn't grow my hair past my shoulders until one day I met this woman who grew her hair like a Barbie doll. Have you ever seen those dolls that you pull the hair and you just go like this and all the hair comes out? 1 week she was shaved, the next week she had hair. And I'm kidding you not. And I told her, my God, I love your wigs. They're amazing. She starts laughing, this beautiful, gorgeous Black woman. And she started laughing, belly laughing. She's like, it's my hair. And I was like, no, it's not. I was here last week and your head was shaved. She said, yeah, my grandmother's been cutting my hair since I was born on the new moon. And that is why my hair just grows so much. So I started cutting my hair on the new moon, and then I would only go to the salon on those days. And then I told people, because I talk too much, and people would laugh at me at the salon. But then one of them tried it and realized, and you know what happened in my salon? They would close the morning of the new moon, or the time that was closest to the new moon on the day, and they would close the salon for a few hours and give each other haircuts. Okay? And one day they actually confessed to me, and they apologized for thinking that I was absolutely nuts. And so they closed. They didn't give appointments. They wrote down when the new moon was, and they did not give appointments to people at that time, except for me. They would let me come in because they felt they owed me one. Okay? So we use the moon like to plant the seeds. So when you plant your desire, when you send it out into the universe, you don't keep going after it. It's the same as digging up the dirt to find out if your seed has sprouted. You're going to kill it, right? And when people go, keep doing it, no, it's much simpler. It's much easier, right, Ben? You just have to know when to water. You have to know certain things. Otherwise, your plant is going to die anyway if you don't water it. But you've got to learn what actually waters your desires. Not digging them out and keep hashing over them is not going to make them happen. Now, the thing is, the things that hold us back the most are our story. Don't we love? I used to love. I don't know what payoff I got, but I think I felt more better. And I speak so well. I felt more better sharing the story of my divorce and how I was the poor victim of this horrible man who dared cheat on me. And I would just like go and repeat the story about the man who was unfaithful, who left me with nothing, and blah, 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 blah. And I felt, I guess because nothing was changing in my life, so I felt like if I told the story, at least I would feel there was some justification for my life sucking. Until one day I was at one of my energy courses at the Access Consciousness, getting certified, right, to become a facilitator for Access. And Gary Douglas, the man who actually channeled Access and who's the founder of Access, told me, so, Hannah, I'm just going to ask you a simple question. What? Like, well, did you leave your husband? Did your husband leave you, or had you left him way before he left you? I was like, oh my God. Like, okay, next. That was the end of my story. Because the only way this man could have left was by finding someone else, because otherwise he wouldn't have left. And I needed him to leave. I just didn't ask for it correctly. I said, I remember going to sleep and saying, God, if this is not the man for me, just please just take him, because I cannot continue to live my life this way. I didn't say with ease and joy and give me this or something better. I forgot because I didn't know the recipe, but now I know the recipe. So it was horrible. But guess what? He left. And then years later, I realized that what I thought was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me was my biggest gift. Take that one in. We pick our parents. We pick the experiences we're going to play out in this dimension, because we're all part of the puzzle. And the quicker we let go of our stories, the quicker we let go of our resentments, the quicker we forgive everybody else and start with ourselves, then our life begins to flow in the most magnificent way. Gotta forgive. It's almost sometimes like an everyday thing, because we're always continuing to live, right? We're not in a vacuum. We're not in a bubble. Things happen. But we forgive and we are grateful. And then we look for the gift in every situation. And I can tell you, the more you look for the gift, the more gifts show up. Okay? So I'd like for you to pick one thing. It can be a little thing. Don't do a big one, because it's maybe too much. But do one little thing that you feel like, you know, if I let go of this thought, maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe just ask, you know, Spirit, I'd like to let go of whatever it is that could possibly be holding me back in following my dream, right? Or in do something small, maybe that you can get proof really fast. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring Harry in. Say hi to Harry. And I've been cheating on Harry. I've been going to music in the moment, and usually I take him, and you'll see a video. You can see a video on my timeline. I was there on Tuesday. Watch the video that is about, I think there's a 7-minute one or something. The one that I presented everyone was the noise at the beginning. It was noise. People got so nervous that I was doing a Facebook Live that they went crazy. And it wasn't good. And then it kind of got better at the end. But then when nobody was noticing, I put the camera, I was filming, and then you can hear the amazingness. But this guy has all the instruments that you can imagine. And he has a rack with so many hang pans and hang drums. He has pan arts. The first day I was there and I played a pan art. If you don't know anything about hang drums, and if you don't know what a pan art is, that was the original hang drum. And the Swiss couple, I think they were in Paris when they created this as a work of art. And then people started copying them, and then the whole iteration happened. But the pan arts were the original. And he has a few of them, not just one. So I was playing when I was crying. It's so stupid. But I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm playing a pan art. But so I usually take Harry, but the weather has been so crummy that I didn't want to take him out. It was 12-degree Fahrenheit weather the other night when I went to Music in the Moment. Darn cold. So I didn't want to be carrying Harry around. So I hope that by now you have your one thing, right? Or you've just asked for whatever it is to just, you're going to just let it go. So place your feet flat on the floor again. Wiggle your toes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So a quick body scan and see if you're holding any tension around your shoulders, your throat, your lower back. Oh, I feel a lower back over there somewhere. There we go. Let me pull out some of them. Gently, when you're ready on your own time, start coming back. Stretch out, shake it out. Wiggle your toes. Get back in your body. I'm going to talk to you about the warrior program that's happening. We're starting it up again. Now, Ben, you might be interested in knowing that I'm doing an advanced warrior program that's starting soon. And that one, boom. But this advanced warrior that's going to be starting mid-February, and it's going to be amazing. So this is exactly what this warrior program does. There are universal laws that are happening whether we want to or not, whether we understand them or not, whether we know they exist or not, right? I know that there's electricity and I don't have to understand how the circuits work. I know that if I lift the switch, the light goes on. If I press the switch down, the light goes out. So I need to know for it to work for me, right? But when there are laws of the universe that we don't know that are in effect, then we get blindsided because we're out of integrity and we don't know about them. And then we feel that we are at the mercy of circumstances. When we start understanding universal law, then you stop being at the mercy of the circumstances. You start creating your own reality. You start creating your own paradigm and your own actualizations, which are manifesting means that it could show up, but actualizing is that it actually shows up. Okay, so the things that you desire actually start showing up. And when you find out about these laws and start being in alignment with them, everything starts to become so much easier. So the Warrior in You program, and listen, when I did a commercial on this that it's been rolling around in Instagram and in Facebook, but when I first talked to my VIP group about the Warrior course, they were like, I just hate that name. That's terrible. You hate war. And why would you name your program the Warrior? And my coach with Maris is like, well, do people want to be called warriors? I'm like, when they find out what kind of warrior my warrior is, you bet your ass they're going to want to be warriors. Because when you think of a warrior, it's people who are willing to go to battle for their ideals. They're willing to go to battle for their loved ones. They are people who are disciplined. They are people that are consistent. They are people that are very aware because they know if they make a mistake, they can take everybody down. So they're aware. Mm-hmm. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get to their mission accomplished. They are willing. I feel that they're one of the most generous type of people. They're willing to die for a cause. Now, that the causes that people pick are a little misguided, that's another issue, right? But the cause that we're picking here is our own dreams, our own family, the people that we love, the people that we care for, and ourselves. So all we are doing is borrowing the energy of the warrior and trying it on and seeing what fits and what we like. And it doesn't mean we're going to go to war at all, but we're going to get that training. Like a martial artist, like people who do karate, there's a bunch of like judo and stuff, and they go and fight each other and everything. And it's like, people could say that's violent. They learn to be strong in the mind, right? Doesn't mean we're going to go to war. It doesn't mean we're going to all of a sudden be for guns, which would be the most stupid thing on the planet. But it means that we're going to get that discipline, and we're going to understand the universal laws, and we're going to get a blueprint that is going to do exactly what I was talking about before. It starts to align and gives you a guideline on how to align your thoughts, your emotions, your words that come out of your mouth, that once they're out, they are out, baby. There's no bringing them back. Once they're said, they're said. They are out there. And your actions to bring you into alignment, into one perfect unit that can start to experience heaven on earth at every turn. And when you go off the road, you can and experience hell again. You know what to do. You can come back to it over and over again so that you can just get back on track with ease in the turn of a dime. Because you have all the power, and then when you get the understanding of it and you know how to apply it, then it'll become easy. Is it simple? Yes, most of what I teach is very simple. Based on what I said, that I understood that it's harder to do simple copy. It's harder to do a simple piece of work than a complex. It's harder to put my thoughts into one page instead of 300, because I can ramble on and on. But if I have 3 seconds for you to understand what I'm doing, that's tough. That's hard. It's simple, but it's not easy. And this is the path of the warrior. And that is why I am looking for people who may not be used to being in this discipline, but know that this path will take them to their dreams in a much faster way. The more they practice, the more you start seeing things show up as if by magic, okay? And then you will have an experience of quantum leaping into a totally different reality. And it's all in your control. You learn how to circumvent the reticular activating system, your filter, the one that says no way, the one that keeps you stuck in your story, because this system is the one that's there. You learn to appreciate it, because nothing is here by accident. It's like when people say the spleen, like doctors, like, oh, you don't need the spleen. It doesn't do anything. Really? Okay, interesting. And your appendix, people don't need their appendix. It doesn't do anything. Interesting that they would think this, right? Because if we don't really know who made us, but I'm calling it God. I don't think anything is here because it doesn't have to be here. Because if they weren't a use for an appendix, then I don't think there would be an appendix. Simple as that. It wouldn't be there. If we didn't need a spleen, which helps filter so much emotion, just because people don't see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like I was having a talk with Philip Porta, and he was saying that, you know, he's a vegan and he doesn't want to kill animals, and I totally agree. I said, you know what, but people don't understand that plants feel too. He was like, but they don't feel the same as the animals, and blah blah blah. And he was like getting really like, listen, I'm on your side. I agree with you that we shouldn't be killing animals. There's a Holocaust going on right now. People saying that there's no gas chambers and the Holocaust will never happen again. Really? It's going on in your backyard every single day when they're gassing thousands of pets that nobody wants because they breed them like rabbits and they put them in boxes, and with the level of human cruelty that's disgusting. Okay, and the Holocaust is happening. Yes, I agree, but guess what? Trees communicate with each other through their roots, and if one of them senses danger and he sees that they're going to come and chop him down, he lets the other ones know so that they put themselves to sleep so that they don't feel the pain as much when they get chopped up. Talk to your plants, sing to your plants and see, give them love. See what the difference it'll make, and make an experiment. Do one, plant some seeds. You do it, Ben. You have your seeds going, your microgreens. Try it with a few seeds. Sing to them and see what happens, or talk to them. Tell them how much you love them and see what's going to happen, how much they grow, and how different. Put a sound bath on to some of them. You'll see.
Okay.
you will notice, and you'll have the proof right there. Okay, so all I'm saying is there are things that we don't know that we don't know. There are things that we cannot see because we're very limited. We see the solar spectrum, we hear a certain range of frequencies. It doesn't mean that there's no frequencies on either end and everywhere else, and colors that are not higher frequencies and lower frequencies that we can't see. So when you start aligning yourself with these laws, then you won't need to know what the law is or how it works. It's like, I'm just going to tell you, okay, here's the switch. And all we need to do is go and turn the switch on, which is so much easier. We're allowing the universe to take care of all the wiring and all the connections and everything. And we'll just go, whoop, switch. Okay, I'm having a magical life now. Okay, and that is what the Warrior Program does. And over 6 weeks, I need people who are I'm really looking for people that are going to be committed to their own, it's almost like a training, a discipline training on understanding certain things, how powerful your words are, understanding how powerful your thoughts are and how they become things, and then start playing and applying these things that you're learning and start making things. You start to become an artist, right? If thoughts are things, you can make ugly things or beautiful things. So then you start making your own beautiful, just a huge amount. You can have an incredible, amazing body of work, right? And then you start creating all this beauty around you that then it translates into attracting beautiful things and people to you. People start giving you things start showing up. The person that's going to connect you to the next thing is going to show up, and then all of a sudden you're going to be flowing with life and things start happening in the most magical, amazing way. So that's it. That's our Warrior Program. We're going to be starting mid-February. I'm going to have a bonus where I'm going to first of all, we're going to have a pre warrior, a pre-warrior reunion, where we're going to get together and we're going to see what, yes, love, I'll send you the details. We're going to get together and figure out where everybody is, so we can plan the map of where we're going. And then we're going to start the program, and mid-program, when you have already figured out what it is that is stopping you, where do you think you need the most help, we're going to jump on a call, and I'm going to do a personal healing for you. We're going to do a personal recording for you that you can listen to over and over again, that will get you out of whatever funk you're in the moment, because there's things that are going to show up, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. Things are going to stop you. And if you've done any kind of course like this before, you know that it's hard to get through to the end. Why? Because there comes a point right in the middle where something happens, and once you push through it, everything goes downhill, and it's fun. Just like the school year. Remember when you went to school, and then around, like if we went from September to June, and then by November, December, everybody starts getting sick, then the exams come, and then everybody's like, oh my God, how are you ever gonna get through this? And then it's usually the winter, and so the nights are longer, and it just gets so yucky, and so there's such an energy of stopping you. And then once you work through that time, February shows up, and all of a sudden starts getting easier, and then there's more daylight, and then all of a sudden you blink and you're in June, and you don't even know what happened. It just went and it kind of unravels. So in every course that we undertake, everything that we commit to, every project, every dream, you will find that moment when you don't want to keep going anymore. And that is when you're 3 feet from gold. But I am committed to helping you through that hump so that you can finish this course, and not only finish it, but keep applying it over and over in your life, so that you can start playing in your orbit and really receiving all the gifts that they're destined for you. And all you have to do is just open your arms wide and say, universe, thank you. Can I have some more? And thank you for this. Can I have some more? And live in the truth bump feeling at every moment, because you know when things are true for you, you start feeling the tingling in your body, and you feel the people call it goosebumps. I call them truth bumps, right? Because when it's true, you just like light up like a laser, right? Or like a huge beam of light. You just like know that something is calling you to do something like this. So these are the people that I am looking for, so that I can serve you in the most present way that I can, in a personalized way, so that you can start very rapidly aligning yourself and experimenting and experiencing what it is to say the word and have it materialize. When you do that, sometimes it becomes even unbelievable, right? The other day I went to, I was telling the story about the parking spot, right? I was coming back from my music in the moment, and there's usually no parking in front. And I said, how silly, I'm an expert parking spot manifester. So I just visualized my spot right in front of my house, and I let it go. I just saw it so clearly, and I knew it was going to be waiting for me when I got there. And ever since I did that the other day, I've been doing it every time. It hasn't failed me yet. because I just put the order in. So when you start putting the order into the universe and the universe starts delivering it, it's indescribable. It's just magic. And so I invite you to join me. This course, it's a $700, $697 value, and I am going to, because you've been so kind to be here and invest your time with me today, I am still going to be offering it at a reduced price of $297 US dollars. And well, I cannot wait to see you. If you've attended this webinar and you choose to be here, I'll be thrilled to have you. And otherwise, I will see you on Sound Bath Sundays. I do a lot of free content, so I'm always trying to figure out a new way to give you guys more, because I want all of you guys to come here so that we can all play together, because it's lonely here. I don't want to be the only one doing the magic and having nobody to play with. So I want you all in my orbit and with your orbit in mind, and just like flowing along and just playing and experiencing this kind of joy. And let me tell you, life happens. It's not gonna stop. Horrible things happen. Horrible people do horrible things. All right, but it's up to us to allow them to rattle and ruffle our feathers, right? We let them come into our space, and then it's not even our energy getting us out of whack. It's somebody else's, but we just left the door wide open. And then we absorb all that energy, and then we think it's ours. So I'm going to teach a way how to, first of all, cleanse your energy. Then I'm going to show you an amazing way to seal yourself off every day so that you can go out there and the energy will just bounce off you, literally bounce off of you. Instead of being the human antenna that you are, absorbing every single frequency, and then all of a sudden you're listening to acid rock when you really wanted soft listening. And then all of a sudden you're in the wrong radio station and you don't know how you got there. And you don't know how to get out of there. And then you think it's you who chose that. And then everything's like, yeah! And you're like, whoa, get me out of here. And I don't know how to get out of here. And you have the dial, but nobody told you where the dial was. So I'm gonna, tell you how to switch the station by showing you the dial. And then I'm gonna show you how to put a lock on it. You know how the people put the lock on the thermostat so that people don't mess with the AC or the heat all the time? And they put a thing on top. I'm gonna give you that thing so that you can lock it up and you don't have people messing with you, messing with your energy, messing with the station. People won't be able to shift the station for you unless you allow it. Okay. So, Natasha, yes, I'll send you the link so that you can find out more about it. I would love to have you be a part of this group. I love you. I adore you. And Kim, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. And thank you.